Welcome to the Awakened Anesthetist podcast. I'm your host, Mary Roberts. I'm a certified anesthesiologist assistant living and working outside of Kansas City, Missouri. I created this podcast to give CAAs across the nation a place to come together and awaken to our profession's unique ability to create a life by design rather than default. That process can start by simply listening and engaging with this podcast. By doing so, you're already changing what's possible for CAAs, for you, for me, for all of us. I'm so thankful you're here. Let's jump into this episode and see what we can do together. I hope I am saying a welcome back to the Awakened Anesthetist podcast. It is a Wednesday, let's see here, October 2021. And this week, my husband and I were supposed to be on a 10-year anniversary cruise with our 3 small children. But due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, that cruise was canceled, and I have found myself at home with a lot of time to prep for my upcoming substance use disorder in our profession course that I teach at the UMKC Masters of Science Anesthesia School. So being at home alone on a number of days this week has ended up being a valuable thing for me. I am putting the finishing touches on the course, and something that I'm doing with my first and second year students during this course is a mindfulness practice called whole body breathing. And I wanted to share it here with you all on the podcast or as a reference for my students, my UMKC students to come back to. We are learning about many things, including mindfulness, in this substance use in our profession course. And this particular course is all about connection and how finding connections is the opposite of addiction and beginning to do the hard work of understanding how it feels to be in another's shoes. That is the work of empathy. And so we're learning all about connection and empathy and how those could be the antidote to our profession's great risk of substance use disorder. And this whole body breathing practice comes in and allows us to feel connected from the inside out, to connect with the idea that when we breathe, it involves our whole body, not just our lungs and our rib cage and our diaphragm. And so this meditation upcoming should hopefully give you a sense of unification within your body, a connectedness with you and your body that hopefully with time and practice can extend outside of yourself to your other anesthesia colleagues, to the other CAAs in your life. And we can do the hard work to continue to care about each other and to empathize with each other and realize that when we're learning about the people who are at risk for substance use disorder, we're not thinking of them over there, but we're thinking of you and me and all of us. I, like you, am fairly new to mindfulness. It's something I'm definitely interested in. It's been a large part of my journey to my most authentic self and understanding who I truly am underneath all of the conditioning that I've grown up with. And although that seems really maybe highly desirable, I was always left thinking, but why and how? And my skeptical anesthesia brain, maybe like yours, is also thinking, like, this isn't for me. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of the science before we settle in for our practice. First of all, I wanted us all to review the area of our brain called the prefrontal cortex. It is commonly known as the taskmaster in the brain or the drill sergeant. Basically, it's the portion of our brain that gives us focus and attention and tells our brain what to pay attention to, whether it's danger or something interesting. And research has shown that the prefrontal cortex also plays a large role in the addiction cycle, with dopamine binding to the receptors in the prefrontal cortex and creating those feelings of cravings when maybe there are some visual cues of substance use or you're in the environment. And so my students have all been learning about prefrontal cortex activation, of course, the sympathetic response that also activates our prefrontal cortex. And we've been learning ways to shift the brain's attention away from the prefrontal cortex. And whole body breathing is something that can shift our brain's attention to the right side of our brain, which is more focused on seeing the holistic picture, the whole picture. It's also the portion of our brain where we have our creative side. It's where we process our emotions. So this mindfulness practice of whole body breathing dials down the volume on our prefrontal cortex and shifts the attention to the function of the right side of our brain as we engage our senses and our minds in what it feels like to think of breathing with our whole body. And while the idea of breathing with your whole body may seem fairly abstract, I want to remind everyone of what we know about the oxygenation that happens with each breath at the alveolar arterial membrane in our lungs, how the vasculature in our brain and in our systemic system can constrict or vasodilate depending on how rapid we're breathing or how slowly we're breathing. Heart rate variability changes with each breath. And so it's not a stretch to allow ourselves to get curious about the other parts of our body that are affected by breathing and how each breath really does affect our whole body. So now you have hopefully bought in a little bit. I know I needed to hear the science behind a lot of these concepts, these difficult concepts to understand. And so hopefully that explanation was helpful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please email me at awakenedanesthetist@gmail.com. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear how this episode has landed for you. And I think now is a good time to settle yourself in wherever you're listening to this mindfulness practice. You can move around and stretch if necessary before you settle in if you're feeling any discomfort. Feel free to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. If that feels silly to you or uncomfortable, certainly you can just soften the focus of your eyes or just gaze at one thing. We're just trying to allow our minds to focus in on breathing in particular with this exercise. And so shutting down some of those visual cues can be really helpful in focusing our minds. So now that you're seated or standing or lying down or in whatever position feels most comfortable for you, I want you to just take a full breath in and then a longer breath out. Right now, we're just noticing our breath. We're allowing it to move through our body as we inhale and as we exhale. No need to control the breath right now. We are simply using our gentle, mindful attention and allowing these first couple breaths to be natural. Now, as you breathe in, imagine that your whole body is breathing in. And as you breathe out, imagine that your whole body is breathing out. With your next breath in, can you feel the breath in the front of your chest, the area around your heart? And now can you feel it in the back of your ribs, your posterior ribs? Can you feel the breath in your scapula as you inhale? And as you release your breath slowly, can you sense the exhale in your forehead, your ears, your diaphragm, your belly? On your next inhale, can you notice the breath in your pelvis, the base of your spine, your breath as it moves up your spine to the base of your neck? And on the exhale, follow your breath down from the top of your head and just see where it takes you. Let's continue breathing like this for a few more breaths, seeing where else you notice your breath. As you inhale your next breath, try to see if you can imagine your breath in your whole body, no longer thinking of the individual body parts or the breath skipping around between them, but your whole body inhaling and your whole body exhaling. On each inhale and each exhale, let the feeling of your whole body breathing connect you, and let that feeling of connection start to sink in. If at this point you're feeling checked out or frustrated and you're just not feeling the whole body, give yourself the permission to just go back to your lungs and your rib cage and see if you can feel your whole chest cavity moving with each inhale and each exhale. With your next exhale, allow your body to be still for just a moment. Try to notice the sensations that are alive in your body. As you get the urge to take an inhale, allow your eyes to softly open. Take a moment to gently move your body, wiggling your toes and fingers, waking back up into your body. Roll your shoulders back, flex and extend your feet. And get curious about how your body's feeling at the moment. Maybe you feel more connected to your toes or to your ears. Any feeling of unity or connection, I want you to hold on to for the remainder of this day. And if at any point you begin to feel disconnected or out of sorts today, see if you can close your eyes and take a big inhale and a longer, slower exhale, and remember the feeling you have right now of unity and connection with yourself. Thank you.